We know the story well, or at least we think we do. Three wise men, three camels, three beautifully wrapped gifts. They travel from a faraway land, following a glowing star across desert sands, until they finally kneel before the Christ child in Bethlehem. It's a scene etched into every nativity display, sung about in carols, and played out in Christmas pageants across the world. But let me ask you a question, and this might shake your assumptions. Does the Bible ever say there were three? Open the book of Matthew. Read chapter 2, verse 1 through 12. You'll find mention of Magi from the east. You'll find a star, a journey, a search for the King of the Jews. You'll even find three gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But one thing you won't find is a number. Not three, not five, not 12. Just Magi. Just seekers of truth. Their number is a mystery, and maybe that's the point. Because God often leaves out the details we don't need so we can focus on the message we do. And the message here, it's a message of faith isn't about how many go, it's about who is willing to go. Now, let's talk about these magi for a moment. They were not kings, as tradition later claimed. They were scholars, astronomers, watchers of the skies, thinkers, interpreters of dreams. They likely came from Babylon or Persia, trained in ancient wisdom, steeped in knowledge, but strangers to the God of Israel. Yet they saw something different in the sky, a new light, a cosmic anomaly, and something in their souls stirred. Could this be the long foretold king? So they packed treasures: gold for royalty, frankincense for deity, and myrrh for suffering and death. And they set out across deserts and mountains, over borders and beyond boundaries. The journey wasn't short. It could have taken months, maybe even up to 2 years. They faced scorching heat by day, bitter cold by night, bandits, sandstorms, uncertainty. But still, they went. Why? Because the real wisdom doesn't wait for proof. It moves when it hears the whispers of the divine. So, let's pause and apply this. What are you waiting on before you will follow God's call? A clearer sign? More money in the bank? Perfect conditions? The Magi didn't wait for clarity. They moved when they saw a flicker of God's light, and they let that light lead them step by step. Sometimes that's all faith is, right? Trusting the next step when you don't yet see the destination. And where did they arrive? Not a palace, not a throne, not in Rome or Jerusalem. They found the Messiah in a humble home, cradled in a mother's arms. A child born in a borrowed stable, raised in a village no one respected. And here's what just blows me away. When they got there, they bowed. Educated men, wealthy men, respected men. They dropped to their knees before a toddler, not because of what he looked like, but because of who they believed he was. That's faith. Not faith in appearances, not faith in logic, but faith in revelation. Faith in the whisper of God saying, "This is the one." And those three gifts, they weren't random. Gold symbolized kingship because Jesus is the King of Kings. Frankincense was used in temple worship because Jesus is our high priest. Myrrh was used to prepare bodies for burial because Jesus came to die and rise again. You see, the Magi didn't just give Jesus expensive gifts. They gave him gifts that declared his identity. Prophetic offerings, whether they understood their full meaning or not. They gave their best, and they gave in worship. Now, here's the challenge for us. You may not have gold. You may not understand theology. You may feel unworthy, uncertain, or like an outsider yourself. But none of that stopped the Magi, and it doesn't need to stop you either. God is still placing stars in people's skies. He's still calling the unexpected. He's still whispering, "Come and see." So the question today isn't how many Magi were there. The real question is, will you become one of them? Will you follow the light he has given you? Will you journey into the unknown? Will you lay down your gifts, your talents, your time, your heart, and bow before the one who came to save you? Because even now, wise men and wise women still seek him. And those who seek, well, they always find. Amen. God bless you, my friends.